Hello, and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond. I'm Madison Letterman.
And we'll also take a look at college football from this past weekend and all the latest happenings in all pro sports. I'm Didi Little, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. Welcome back to Sports Update here on EUTV. This past weekend was full of exciting sports action around the nation, including college football, the NBA Finals, the Major League postseason, and more. But first, let's take a look at what happened for our very own Evangel Crusaders over this past week.
The Evangel men's soccer team lost against Benedictine College on Saturday, October 3rd, with a final score of 5-1. It was definitely a battle for the Crusaders as they tried to score against the Ravens, with their lone goal coming from Cole Ottewaldt in the first half off a pass from Drew Flippin. Evangel managed to score one goal with only 3 shots on goal, while Benedictine was able to get 18 shots and 10 on goal. Evangel's Jacob Holman had 2 saves and allowed 4 goals, and Chase Denny had 2 saves and allowed 1 goal. The Crusaders' next matchup will be against Mid-American Nazarene on October 6th at 3:30 p.m.
For the second time in his many outings, the Evangel Crusader women's soccer team found themselves on the wrong side of the scoreline. The Crusaders took a short trip to Atchison, Kansas to take on the Benedictine Ravens in a Saturday night matchup this past weekend, but they were unable to generate any offense as they fell to the Ravens by a score of 2-0. Head coach Bruce Deaton stated that he was proud of how his team competed and that the ladies continue to play good soccer, although there are a few areas he sees that his team can improve on. He believes that with these adjustments, the Crusaders will be more successful going forward throughout the rest of their conference schedule. The Crusaders will head back to Kansas for a matchup against the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers. Game time is scheduled for 1 p.m. today, October the 6th.
The Evangel's women's golf team competed in the Panthers Invitational September 22nd at Silo Ridge Country Club. Evangel sophomore Ashley White led the Crusaders with an opening round score of 82, coming in at 10 over par to share the 5th spot on the individual leaderboard within the first day of competition. By the end of the Invitational, White tied for 14th on the final leaderboard, while Emma Oethau and Ashton Russell fired matching rounds of 86 on day 2 of the tournament to lead the Crusaders. Evangel will continue to play in the Heart of America Conference preview this week, then play again on October 19th and 20th.
In a bit of a surprise move, the Evangel Crusader football team was unable to take the field this past weekend. At the request of the Graceland Yellow Jackets, last Saturday's game was postponed to November the 21st due to COVID-related issues. After having the weekend off, the Crusaders will look ahead to their matchup against the Clark Pride this Saturday, October the 10th. That game will take place at Tiger Stadium in Ozark with kickoff scheduled for 1 p.m. The Evangel Crusader volleyball team also had an extended break, but they will be returning to action tonight, October the 6th, in the Ashcroft Center for a matchup against conference foe Missouri Valley. The reserve team will open the evening at 5 p.m., while the varsity squad, led by All-American Erin Russell and senior standout Daisy Eklund, will follow that matchup at 7 p.m.
It should be a good matchup for the Evangel volleyball squad against Missouri Valley on October 6th, Tuesday night. And also, hopefully, the football team will be back in action Saturday after having this last weekend off despite a long week of preparation.
Yeah, we're definitely in full swing now with all the fall sports underway, including a first-year tennis program who has also seen some early success. But we just want to clarify that the football team was prepared to play last week, but at the request of the Graceland Yellow Jackets, they were unable to due to COVID-related issues, and that is actually all the information we have about that right now. But the team is preparing. Preparations are underway to play this coming Saturday against the Clark Pride at home at Ozark. So we're definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, we are all so excited. Please stay tuned because coming up, Dee Dee will be interviewing student Austin Dill of the Sports Media Department. We'll be right back.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Sports Update. We're here with student worker Austin Dill of the Sports Media Department. Thank you, Austin, for being here with us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
For sure. Well, I understand that there's a new sports information director. So is there anything that you can kind of tell us about that new addition to the team?
Yeah, so in previous years, Phil Dowden was kind of like the head of everything. And this year, with some help, we brought in Eric Denig. He previously worked, I believe, 14 years at Missouri State as their assistant athletics communication. And he primarily worked with several different programs and teams over there. But I think one of his biggest accomplishments that I've talked to him about is that he helped their baseball program kind of get to where it's at today. So.
For sure. Well, it sounds like he's brought a lot of experience back to Evangel, you know, with all the things that he did over there at Mo State. So how long have you personally worked for the sports media team?
For me, it's been 2 years counting this year.
Okay.
Last year I worked for Phil and under him. And this year I'm working under Eric, so it's been a lot of fun.
For sure. So it sounds like you have a little bit of experience yourself. So what does a typical home game look like for you as a sports media worker? We have one this coming Saturday, so what will that kind of look like for you?
So for Phil and Eric, they get there hours in advance before the game starts. For me, as a practicum student, just trying to get in some hours and help them any way possible, he usually requests that we get there maybe 2.5, maybe 3 hours before the game. Help set up whatever he needs us to do, whether that be live stream, live video board, whatever it may be, just to make sure everything's running properly. So. For
sure. So it sounds like y'all actually get there even before the football team does. So there's definitely a lot of preparation that goes into doing a lot of that stuff. So shout out to you guys for all the work that y'all do. What's been your favorite part about working for the sports media team, and have you faced any challenges so far?
My favorite part would probably have been just how easygoing it is. It's a great environment to work in. And also you're developing a lot of skills and assets that you can take with you later on in life. And whatever job or career you want to pursue, it'll help you later on in life. And then challenges, I would say, well, just the other day we had the men's soccer game. Our live stream went down. And so you're always trying to think quick on your feet if a problem comes up. And so what one of our head assistants had to do was he just right on the spot, he turned on his hotspot so that the live stream could keep going. So I think challenge-wise, it's always just trying to think quick on your feet if a problem happens.
For sure. Well, it sounds like y'all are definitely great at that, you know, just being intuitive with the resources that you guys currently have. So that's pretty solid right there. What can other students do to possibly join the media team? Or if it's too late for this semester, what can they do about next semester or in the future?
Right. So even if you're not a sport management, student, or if you're not in the kinesiology department, you can still work with Phil and Eric and just explain to them what you're looking to do. They're always wanting to take in people to help, but I would say that they're just taking in people and things like that.
For sure, that sounds good. So with the experience that you've gained currently working under Phil and the new sports information director, what would you be looking to do after your time here at Evangel in terms of sports media and things like that?
Right. So like I said earlier, you gain a lot of experience and skills from working with them. And so for me personally, I could use that possibly if I want to get an internship somewhere. And then you can also use Phil and Eric as good references for, on your resume or whatever it may be for a possible employer later on in life.
For sure. That's definitely good, a fallback to have, Right. Well, not necessarily a fallback, but, just that those good guys that you can lean on if you need a recommendation or anything like that. So that definitely sounds good. But do you have any other experience in any type of sports management aside from this?
Previously, this past summer, with COVID going on, it was a little tough, but this past summer I was the head social media, guy for a baseball summer team.
Okay.
And so I ran that throughout the whole summer, just in-game updates, trying to get people excited about future games coming up.
For sure.
Just trying to represent our players well. So.
For sure, that sounds pretty fun. So just the last question here. Have you done any of the social media things here for Evangel, or is that not really your expertise?
Well, it's not really my expertise, but in previous years when, because I play on the baseball team and sometimes I'm up in the press box with Phil and his student workers, they have given me control of the social media sometimes, just to run while the game's going on, but besides that, no, not really.
For sure. Well, it's pretty good. I mean, it's nice that you're having the opportunity to do all this stuff and gain the experience that you have. We definitely want to appreciate you for coming in and just sharing the things that you've done with the sports media team, and we appreciate the work that you've done. Coming up, we will be reviewing several college football games that happened this past weekend. Stay tuned.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
For the first time in MLB history, there were 16 teams that qualified for the postseason. And because that many teams qualified for postseason play, there was a change to the playoff schedule, which saw all 16 teams participate in best-of-3 wildcard matchups last week. The Astros, Rays, Yankees, Braves, Dodgers, and Marlins all swept their opponents in their respective wildcard series, while the Oakland A's and the San Diego Padres won their respective series in 3 games. The Astros and the A's and the Yankees and the Rays will both meet each other in the more traditional best-of-5 divisional series matchups in the American League, while the Padres and the Dodgers and the Braves and the Marlins, who are in the middle of a history-making postseason run, will face off in their divisional round matchups on the National League side.
With the Oklahoma Sooners having a record of 12-2 last season, this year has been a shock to many. Last week, they lost 38-35 to Kansas State after turning over the ball 4 times, and this week they lost to Iowa State 37-30 after a back-and-forth battle. The Iowa Cyclones gained a 23-20 lead after a 65-yard touchdown pass from Brock Purdy to Xavier Hutchinson on a 3-play scoring drive. The Sooners then got ahead with a 39-yard scoring drive to take a 30-23 lead, a series capped by Jeremiah Hall's second receiving touchdown. Even so, Iowa State secured the win after another score and an interception in the end zone. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the San Francisco 49ers 25-20, with Carson Wentz throwing a perfect fourth-quarter touchdown to put the Eagles in front. The Eagles' defense also largely contributed to the win with 5 sacks and 15 quarterback hits, and the Eagles' defense cashed in 3 forced turnovers, including an interception returned for a touchdown by Alex Singleton. San Francisco's offensive line looked out of sorts, and backup quarterback Nick Mullins faced 15 sacks and multiple hits, which caused poor decisions, costing the team. Mullins was eventually benched, then the team looked at their third option, C.J. Beathard, for a comeback, which brought the score to 25-20 with the Philadelphia Eagles on top.
In the grand scheme of things, the NFL had to know that it was not a matter of if, but rather a matter of when they would have to deal with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. This situation came to a head recently as the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers had to cancel their matchup, which was originally scheduled for this past Sunday due to a COVID-19 outbreak among the Titans locker room and other personnel and staff. The total number of positive cases within the Tennessee Titans organization is now up to 20, which is the largest outbreak among any of the major professional sports franchises in the United States. COVID also forced the NFL to move the Chiefs-Patriots game to Monday night after Patriots quarterback Cam Newton tested positive, and it nearly placed the Vikings and Texans matchup from this past Sunday in jeopardy as well. The Steelers and Titans are now scheduled to play each other during Week 7 of the NFL season.
Yes, and even on Monday night, the Chiefs and Patriots were able to play, and the Chiefs did win. And aside from football, we did have some amazing NBA games last week as well.
Yes, the NBA Finals are definitely in full swing right now, and the Lakers are actually up 2-1 in that series against the Heat. But Jimmy Butler, the Heat guard, had a historic performance. He had a 40-point triple-double in Game 3, which helped the Heat get back into that series.
That's awesome. Well, why don't we go ahead and check out what's coming up for the Crusader Sports.
Coming up for football, we have a home game this coming Saturday, October the 10th, and the football team will be taking on the Clark Pride, and that game will be in Ozark, Missouri at Tiger Stadium, and kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m.
Evangel's volleyball team will have an away game Friday, October 9th at Baker University at 7 p.m. and an away game Saturday, October 10th at Benedictine College at 5 p.m. And also on this October 6th, they will have a home game here at Evangel.
Coming up for our soccer teams, they also will be taking the field this coming Saturday, October the 10th, and they will be taking on the William Penn Statesmen. The women will kick off at 12 p.m., while the men's game will follow that at 2:30 p.m., and that is a home game here in Springfield, Missouri on Courier Field. So if you can, get out and support your Evangel Crusader soccer teams this weekend.
And our golf team will have another tournament on Sunday, October 11th in Canton, Missouri at Culver Stockton, and the time will be announced soon.
Well, it looks like it's definitely going to be an exciting week for our Evangel Crusader sports teams.
Yes, we have so much coming up, and we just hope that everyone will come out and support. We have so much going on, and fans are finally allowed, so I'm excited to see how it goes, especially since last week a lot of things got canceled, and we didn't really have that fan feel at any games.
Yeah, and definitely with volleyball. I know they took basically a 2-week break, but it's definitely exciting to see them back in action tonight and later on this weekend as well.
Yes, we had so much just kind of waiting and then only a few practices, but we're ready to play.
For sure, that sounds great.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Madison Letterman.
And I'm Didi Little. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.